tonight I wanted to do something more simple, something fun, something that people love. And what do people love more than tier lists? That's right, a Yakuza 0 Substory tier list. I'm gonna rank them through if they're fun and have good writing, if they're fun or have good writing, if they're not fun and or have bad writing, and then finally, if I don't remember them. I would put don't remember higher, but I feel like if I can't remember the sub story, it's somehow potentially worse than if it's not fun or and if it's got bad writing. I believe these are I don't know if these are ranked as in they are in the game where it's like they'll have like 1 through like what is it like 59 or some shit. Let's see. There's a lot. I don't want to do the math. Anyway, the white ones seem to be Kiryu, the red ones seem to be Majima, and it's mostly yeah, front loaded for the chapter stuff, though you can't do this one until you do one of the Majima ones. This one. Anyway, no script here, so I just wanted to do something, a little low energy, a little something something. Right, so the visionary fortune teller. I think that's what this says. I'm pretty sure that's what this says. In that we talk to a fortune teller and I think she's going to get her ass kicked. And in return for her ass not getting kicked, she becomes an advisor to us for the business stuff. And also, we get to meet the pants stealing Osakan himself. Ryu Goda? Ryuji Goda. I think that's it. I would say that let's see. Good writing, yes. I should also probably say what's good writing. I couldn't fit in good character writing because sometimes the characters are out of character or it doesn't enhance them, and that's bad writing for the character. So that's that. Fun is like it's got like a cool mechanic or it's just unique in some fun, wacky way, which Yakuza 0 does pretty well in a lot of these. So it might be pretty top loaded, this game. I would say that interacting with a fortune teller who thinks that she's going to get her ass kicked. I think she was like, this dude is going to lose his job, get divorced, and all that shit. And it happened because he was a cunt. So that's fun and good writing. So we're starting off pretty strong. I don't know. Can I make these bigger? Open image and new tab. I can make them bigger. Yeah. Let's see. Iraqi Quest. This one's great. This one got me tearing up a little bit. It starts out, and let me double check to make sure. Yep. Ericure Quest. It is basically a little kid's in line, and he wants to get the knockoff Dragon Quest before they were allowed to just straight up say Dragon Quest in the Like a Dragon games later. Kiryu helps the kid recover his game when it was, I think it was stolen by a teenager, and then some goon, and then some member of the Yakuza or just like a mafia dude. And it turns out the mafia dude was secretly his dad all along. And so it's just a very touching, like, final thing. I just love, it's almost like those, like, sequences of deals sort of stories where it's like you trade the thing to get the other thing. But instead it's, you stole this thing, which was stolen from somebody else who stole it originally from this kid. And that's pretty great. So that's also going in fun and good writing. If I had thought ahead and if I had lower, not credentials, credibility, if I had lower credibility, this entire video would just be one long shit post of me being like, it goes in the square hole. It all goes in fun and good writing. But no, sometimes there is not fun and sometimes there's bad writing. Let's see. Oh, speaking of, Passport to Pizza. Not fun and or bad writing. I'll open this in another tab. Yeah, so basically, a woman who was indentured sexually to a man and wanted to stop being indentured sexually to the man is trying to get a visa, but because of her accent, Kiryu's like, surely she means pizza. She needs this newfangled pizza technology in order to remain in Japan and have the energy to work. And so she ends up, I guess, getting into a relationship with the man that enslaved her. And they all had fun. They all ate pizza and laughed about it. Uh, not great. uh, it can be a little fun because there was a timer for bringing the pizza back while it's still hot, I guess. But besides that, it's like, nah. Checking to make sure. Yep, my audio's still going. I wish Audacity like beeped or something if it stopped working right. There might be a setting actually. Let's see. This one is Kim Urchin Undercover. I think that's the first one for this dude. Yeah, the human trafficking ring is the second one. This is pretty good. This has a undercover detective who heard about some gun running and is like, I should go and get engaged in some criminal activities. And Kiryu's like, maybe you shouldn't. And the guy's like, I should. And so Kiryu helps him not get his shit wrecked. And in exchange, the man is like, here's this 9mm gun. Please take it from me. I'm a civilian. And Kiryu's like, okay, I guess you're just dumping this gun on me. So that was decently fun. I had, you know what? Okay, that was good. A lot of these are going to be in the top category. I can't help myself. I just love Yakuza 0. It's in my top 10 favorite games. Human Trafficking Ring one. That was pretty decent. That one, as it says, he's investigating a human trafficking ring, which not very cash money of people to traffic other human beings. But then again, I'm from a country that won its independence and was like, you know what? We're going to keep our slaves. One of these days, I'm going to write a fantasy setting where that's just the thing, and people are going to be like, oh, actually, that is kind of fucking shitty. That's kind of fucking awful. I don't want to rank it too much higher. I'll probably rank it as like fun or good writing. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna rank because left is like higher up, so that's Eric Kier Quest is like the top of the top right now. The top of all tops. Papa John's. Damned Yankee. Pretty sure that's the full name. Yep, Damned Yankee. That one was excellent. I would put that below Eric Kier Quest. Yeah. That one, Kiryu finds some hooligans, or wannabe hooligans at least, who want to be like American punkish dudes, greaser-ish types, and he helps them learn to be badasses. Though I think I went the route where it's all like wholesomely badass. Like the one guy that's like, I spend my spare time with all my puppies. It's like, yeah, he battles puppy beaters in the rain, and then he takes them out on walks and shit. He brushes them. So yeah, that goes up in fun and good writing. Oh fuck, that might actually be. I will. That might actually be better than Eric Kier Quest. Yeah. I think it beats it out. These two might even go down a little bit. Like the detective thing. It's like good writing, but it's like nothing intrinsically, you know what? Yeah, nothing intrinsically fun was happening with it. This might go lower too. I'm not sure. How to Train Your Dominatrix, also super good. I love it. Positive sex work representation. You're helping somebody build their confidence, and as somebody who's done suicide prevention work for, let's see, how does time work? Let's see. I was 16 when I started. I'm 31 now. So 15 years. So as somebody who's like actively talked to a lot of people who were like at the end of their ropes, pun not intended, Sar Siori, or whatever the fuck your name is from Doki Doki Literature Club. I always like stuff where you get to be a warrior therapist in games. It's one of my favorite tropes, is like, yeah, I can kick the fuck out of you, but also I can help you turn your life around. And a lot of Japanese stuff does do that, though at the same time, yeah, that's one of the issues with some of the bad writing is definitely like, yeah, you're taking pity on people that are like absolute pieces of shit. Like, end him. I get it. Like, the whole Kiryu doesn't kill thing is slight mistranslation. He's never killed out of like self-defense, basically. he wasn't using rubber bullets on that highway, right? And I'm pretty sure there's also a sequence like that in the first game or the second game. I want to say the first one. But yeah, How to Train Your Dominatrix, fantastic. A highlight of the game for me. I'd almost put that higher than Air Cure Quest, but there's that dad stuff going on. Because I'm pretty sure, like, at the end, he was like, yeah, I'm stealing this game for my kid. But then he's like, oh, man, this game was stolen from some other guy's kid? Oh, gee willikers, that makes me a bad guy. And I'm... it's pretty sweet. Password protected. That one, Kiryu overhears a guy saying a password, and then he has to go work, I think, for some Chinese dude to get the password. It's got, like, fun-ish writing, so I'll put it, you know what, I'll put this in the fun, it's, you know what, no, actually, in between, that makes sense, yeah. Because I like the detective, he's pretty cool. I have a soft spot for detectives in fiction, especially around, like, crime stuff. A little hint towards some characters I might be playing in the future in games outside of even like Disco Elysium. Detectives get into people's shit, so it makes sense as like an RPG character to do that. The show must go on. Kiryu walks by some dudes who are like, "You look just like our producer. You should dress like a douchebag." And we'll see. Yeah. See that? That's like douche material 5,000 right there. And they act like a producer. Now, they use a lot of terms in film work that I don't know, like recording and stuff. I always use a guide because I don't know some of the terms. Some of them, it's like, yeah, it kind of makes sense. I will say that, mechanically, it's decently fun, and the writing is good enough. I'll put this at like the top of this tier at fun or good writing. I would say it's 2/3 of both maybe, but it's not quite like up here. In fact, this is gonna go. I don't know. I like this guy like as a person, so yeah, it'll go under the detective guy. Sugar Daddy. Oh yeah. This one's good. I just didn't recognize it because I did it at nighttime, so I didn't recognize the shot here. But basically, a dude is like, I think this girl's my daughter, and she's also like a hostess and stuff. I don't know what to do, and Kiryu's like, I guess I can go talk to her at the hostess club and stuff. And then so Kiryu goes and talks to the hostess club and stuff, and it turns out that they're not actually father and daughter. But it also turns out that there's more than one kind of daddy in this world. And so that's kind of wholesome in a weird, cute way. Many boner was had. I would put that, you know what? Because I featured in the video, it has to go up here. Oh, there's so many fucking things. Shrink Rep. Let me make sure I get the title right. The Shrink Rep Dream. This one's a little... Okay, so... This one is very much a hard to talk about one, because it's like... Did Kiryu committed a crime, right? And wild thing in Japan, that this menace to bicycles, this criminal man who was involved in crime for, I think he joined when he was like 17 or some shit, and so that's 3 plus, okay, so 10 years, and then he gets kicked out. 19, okay, so yeah, like he's been involved for like 10 years or so. He did a lot of crime, right? He got out. Okay, so if he became the chairman, the fifth chairman or whatever, I think, in Yakuza 1, he's got to be back in the Yakuza briefly, right? Like, I feel like you can't be the chairman of the Tojo clan if you're not in the Yakuza. He only joined for, I don't know, like 5 to 10 minutes. But, like, I feel like that, so, like, roughly 10 years and 5 minutes he was doing crimes. Anyway, this sub-story, right? this kid is like, oh, there's this cool ass vending machine. 20-year-old dude, and Kiryu's like, oh, is like comics or something. I can't remember what he thought it was. Uh, but it turns out it's a cool machine that's in a dark alleyway because it's pornography, and so it's a bit I like here's the thing, right? The kid did seem very young, but then again, they only have one child-sized child in the game, right? They're all the same size of child. There's like no variation between them. In fact, I'm pretty sure they used adults for like teenagers in that one scene with the hobo hunters. So potentially problematic. However, it's also very humorous. And altogether, the kid goes, what is it, like, innocent boy to, like, sophisticated lad once he's given this shrunk wrap thing. So I'll say that it is fun, because there's a stealth segment, and it's also just goofy-ass shit. Potentially problematic, be that it may. I'll put this above Sugar Daddy in terms of how much fun and how much good writing there is. It's the most like I'm pretty sure Kiryu got locked into it because he's effectively like he's kind of like lawful good, but the laws are his own laws because he's a man of principles, and he said, "I will get you that thing." And then he found out what the thing is, and he's like, "Man, I can't break my." I feel like he would lose his aura. All his aura farming would go to waste if he broke his oath and didn't get that. If he didn't get that shrink wrapped pornography. Uh, Next one, Miracle on Tenkaichi Street. That is about meeting a faux Michael Jackson named Miracle Johnson, and you protect him during a recording of Not Thriller, in which we also meet not Steven Spielberg, who is the crackeriest cracker to ever crack. His face is demonic. When they speak of the White Devil, they're speaking of the not Steven Spielberg. It's something. It's it's like Steven Spinell or some shit like that. Anyway, it's good fun. You beat shit up. You you listen to a not Michael Jackson song. Good character writing. Kiryu gets to let loose a little bit. I love it. I do love it more than the Sugar Daddy. I don't love it more than How to Train Your Dominatrix, though. These are hard to beat, these three. The Tax Lady. I want to say you have to be running the business stuff as Kiryu, and then you get this sub quest, and eventually a woman, like, calls in, I think, and you meet with her. It turns out she wants you to help get her, one of your neighbor buildings as dudes taken down. And so you go in pretending to be a couple. Very fun writing. You see her ass, and I don't know. I can't remember if there's ever the implication if they were ever gonna fuck, which would have made it even better. But I will say that it had pretty good writing, and there's like the little mini game of like, oh, keep the guy distracted. So I'll put that in. It's got fun and it's got good writing, and I'll put that. That is a. Because in my head, I'm like, what would I rather experience again, the Tax Lady one or the Miracon Tenkaichi Street? And it all goes down to, do I have Beast Mode unlocked? Because I don't think I had Beast Mode unlocked, because I was trying to like push off the main story as long as humanly possible at the time. I would put her ahead by just sheer virtue of that. This next one is Destiny Calls, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so basically this dude kidnapped a kid, and I want to say what happens is you go into the phone club, which if you're watching this for some reason and you haven't played the Yakuza games, welcome, I guess. Phone club is so back in the 80s in Japan and potentially other places in the world. I don't know if this was a thing in America. But basically, dudes would pay to go into rooms with a phone, and then girls would call, and potentially they'd get a date. Uh, I don't know if this is like very specific to the area that Kamurocho is in, or Kem. Kabukicho, I think is the real life name for it, because it's like Goon City, right? It's the capital of gooning. It's where the cum sprayeth freely in Tokyo. Kiryu's feet are drenched in the semen of more men than he's beaten. More men have beaten off on the cold, hard streets of Kamurocho than he's left unconscious in his wake. That's a lot of jizz. So anyway, this dude kidnapped a kid, and he's been trying to call in to the kid's family, but it turns out the kid's smart and gave a fake number because he was like, "Oh, I don't want my family to be worried about me." I don't think he hurt the kid. I think he gave him like food and stuff. You know, it was like oddly wholesome kidnapping. But anyway, it was pretty fun. I wouldn't rank it in the top ones by any stretch of the because I used footage from it. I have to rank it higher. But it's like the bottom tier of like fun and good writing. And since I'm on Firefox, I don't gotta worry about the fucking advertisements on the side. Help wanted. I'm just gonna lump all of these in under fun and or good writing. And I'll give. Where is it? First impression. I feel like that's also like one of the interview ones. I feel like that's up here. Where is it? Where is it? Where's the final one? I will find you. That's all racing. Yeah. Blah, 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 predator. Blah, blah, stop and search. Blah blah blah. Sushi Gen convenience store. These are all like the friend ones. I don't know. I might have to find it later. Right? What's this one? Oh, that's the cat fighting. I don't know. It might be just three. Might be just three of them. Just like, what is this? I don't know. He doesn't look like the guy I remember. Anyway, you're just recruiting some guys. You're trying to get some guys for your business, and eventually you get a dude who he was for sure once it was found out, like he was willing to get his shit kicked in, like his ribs broken for like a dog that was being abused by two people that got like kicked out from being hired. They were both shitheads. So yeah, you get a dude. It's pretty nice. Uh, he's a he's a dork who gets his shit kicked in, and like in the Yakuza, that's like half the cast. Underneath it all, I have to put underneath it all up into fun and good writing because I've used it multiple times. It is definitely higher than Destiny Calls. It's higher than that. It's higher than that. I would put it behind Tax Lady. Actually, I'll put this behind Shrink Wrap because it's just too fucking. It's just too funny. The fucking honor that Kiryu has to uphold. Underneath it all is about, and this is a real thing. A lot of these are real things, right? Japan's fucking weird. I don't want to make a joke in poor taste. Man, through suffering, one can find strength. Anyway, underneath it all, it's so Kiryu comes upon a couple of teens who are having a falling out, a guy and a girl, and they're dating and all that. The guy is like, "Hey, I'm worried that my girlfriend is fucking getting drilled for hard cash by all these gooners." And Kiryu's like, "I'll go find out if she's getting gooned upon." It turns out she's getting indirectly gooned upon because she's selling her panties and bras. I don't know how used they are. I think she mentioned bathing. So she's not quite what's her name, Belle Delphine or something like that. She's not selling her bath water. She's not even selling like sweaty bras and panties. But she's being pressured into it by some other girl who uses toxic fem- toxic femininity. She weaponizes it to make money. And eventually Kiryu has to rescue that bitch from like a stalker dude who shows with a knife and is like, "Man, if I kill her, I get to be with her and her panties forever in like gooner heaven." And so she learns not to force other girls to sell their panties and stuff. And altogether, and then she eventually becomes, I think, a manager for the business. So that's also mechanically pretty cool. Altogether, pretty solid, pretty good. Shows a part of Japanese culture that isn't really looked. People don't really talk about it. It's Barusara or something like that. The selling of panties and all that. I know that they had vending machines with those, but eventually they stopped doing it. Not out of any like uh moral quandaries, but because it was kind of unsanitary to sell used panties. Because sometimes they were used, and you can assume many things of what that could mean. Sometimes it was the pink special, and sometimes it was just crispy and crunchy. Beyond the door, I don't give too much of a shit about rock paper scissors, but with like naked women. So I'll put that, and it was neither fun, and it also just didn't have good writing. I would put it higher than Passport to Pizza, though. Like, it wasn't like. It didn't make me feel bad for its existence. Heir to the family, we get to meet Daigo Dojima as little Babber. He's an indeterminate age. I think he's like 11 or 14. He's between like those ages. I think he had a unique little model. And it turns out that all his friends just want to be friends with him for money. And I don't know if he's supposed to be like a tutorial for some of the mini games, but he goes around and has you do like mini games with him, including going to a bar and calling a hostess ugly as shit. Which that's not really a mini game, but Daigo's a little dipshit. And so I think Kiryu slaps him in a cutscene. You don't beat him, but he slaps him, which is Daigo. Name a more iconic duo: Daigo's face and Kiryu's fists. This one's pretty good. Good and fun writing. Yeah, better than that, better than that, better than that, better than... I would say it's... Now we're getting into the... It has better writing than it has fun. And I would say it's... I don't want to dethrone... I have to dethrone How to Train Your Dominatrix. It's pretty touching, but like mechanically it's not super duper fun, but like character-wise, it's great. So I'll put it there. This one, Shining Example. I'll open this up because I want to make sure, yeah, a Shining Example. I want to make sure I get the names right. This is where we meet Kiryu's future or like little dude. I don't know what the fuck he's considered. Basically, Kiryu's boy, his boy that he brings with him on collection runs in Yakuza 1 before he gets got. Probably says his name here, unless it's Kiryu talking. That's blurry as shit. His name's Shinji, I think. And no, he doesn't get into damn Eva. He gets into damn trouble, and we have to rescue him. He gets into... He's part of a biker gang in high school, but they don't back him up when he picks fights with Yakuza, because I think the Yakuza killed his dad or something, or his dad was a Yakuza and got killed. I think his dad was in debt and got killed, or something like that. And he ran away from his mom, or something like... He's run away from home, I think. He's part of a biker gang, a bunch of pussies, and they don't back him up. This one is pretty good. I'll put it here-ish. It's great character stuff, but it's just like you're just beating dudes. Including Shinji, who's also like a teenager, I think. He's like 16 or some shit. Which is great. Gotta teach him young, I guess. Kiryu is just beating children in this game a lot. It's great. I think one of the 5 rules of writing Kiryu is that he can't beat women. But, and I'm going to cover this in the future thing, but he does beat, like, I think they got rid of the quest relates. They rewrote it where it's like, no, he slaps Haruka in the first game. She's a girl, right? She's not, like, by adults, like a woman. But he totally slaps her. But yeah, like he like gets into fights with like 2 trans women, I think, throughout the series. But it's just like very messy. It's like from like 20 years ago. It's a little Kiryu does eventually say trans rights, which is great. Yeah, when he gets, I think he gets crunked with some girl at the bar. Watery investment. This one wasn't fun, nor was it, nor was it super good writing. Right? It's just Kiryu almost getting scammed, which a lot of side quests if I remember right, from 1 and 2, where it was Kiryu almost getting scammed, and eventually the games evolve into Kiryu is out of his depth regarding technology because he keeps going into prison, and so eventually Kiryu ends up not understanding a lot of tech stuff. But once he's face to face with somebody and not over the phone, he can not only beat the shit out of them. His wisdom. He's like a monk, right? From D&D terms, he's a monk who didn't dump wisdom at all. He's got high wisdom and dex and strength somehow, and his endurance is high. His intelligence isn't awful. His charisma's decent. He rolled really well, and he rolled for stats. That, or in prison he grinded, beating up, and beating off other dudes potentially, beating himself off. Do you get experience for beating yourself off? I don't know, but here you should, because he's that strong. So yeah, you're going into I would say it's less bad than Beyond the Door and Passport the Pizza. Passport the Pizza like bottom tier shit. Like that's I don't want to experience that again. Miracle and Maharaja, right? Oh, Maharaja. Yeah, that's it. This is a dancing competition against Miracle Johnson. Now, here's the thing, right? I don't think he's physically. I don't think you can win. I think he always gets like 10% more than your score no matter what. You might be able to. I don't know if I ever found like a video of somebody winning. I'd have to look for that one day. But so I'm not gonna knock it for the fact that like you can't win. Though I wish you could win. It's just super duper hard. You have to do it like perfectly or whatever, so that somebody out there, some sick fuck who's good at the dancing minigame, can win. I would say that it's fun at least. So I would put that's above. Yeah, password protected. I would put that above this even. Below the detective guy though. The girl in the video. This isn't the ghost one. The ghost one is more fun. Basically, a dude kept just jerking off to this one porn video to the point where, like, I think people were complaining that he kept renting it. Which listen, man. If you're at a rental store and somebody's renting this one thing, just like maybe just sell it to him. Like, though I guess the VHS tape might have been expensive back then, or whatever they were. I think it was VHS, right? Yeah, they were. I think in one thing they were discussing like VHS versus Betamax. Betamax, I believe, was technically the superior technology, but it couldn't hold as much footage. So for like feature length films and stuff, it wouldn't be that great. But listen, if you're just jorking it, just straight or gay jorking it, like I don't, because Betamax, yeah, people loved it for porn. Anyway, he saw this girl and he was like, "Man, it says that she lives in Kamurocho, man. We gotta go find her." And Kiryu's like, "Okay, I guess." After watching the video with the dude, and listen, as somebody who grew up in America with access to the internet and having friends, listen, sometimes you watch porn with your friends. Listen, it's I don't know if that's like too weird to other people. Aw, but that's the thing that can happen. Generally, not when you're like 20-ish though, and like the other dude isn't like standing right behind you, almost touching his chin to your shoulder. Which, like, if they had a good enough relationship, that could be fun. But they just like met, and he was like, "Yo, dude, you want to like goon?" Anyway, they try hunting her down because she's like into Korean barbecue and like two other things. But I went to the barbecue place first because it was the closest. And they see a girl who looks like the lady. So the dude tries to get with her, it doesn't work out. She wants Kiryu instead. I think there's a fight somewhere along there. I think some dudes are like, "Hey, sexy lady, we should harass you because we're goons in Kamurocho, and we're spilling at least one of our bodily fluids today." And they chose to spill their blood because Kiryu was involved. I think the guy eventually was hireable at the business as like a security guard or some shit. I would say that it had good writing. I don't know, like maybe like bottom tier of fun and or mechanically though, it's not super mechanically great. I would put this, yeah, it's gonna be above Miracle Maharaja. Postcard stuff. I'm gonna rank all of these. I'll put them in fun or good writing, and I'll put them. Yeah, I'll put them above the video girl. Come on. These are largely dependent upon the other sub stories you've done, because what you do is you can write into a radio station with the sub stories you've done, and the radio host reads them off. And even he's like, Kiryu, maybe you shouldn't have born porn for that young, innocuous child. Um, it's kind of weird, bro. And Kiryu's just like, yeah, my voice is on the radio. Yeah, it just culminates in him getting, I think shoes I never fucking wore. So yeah, it's a little fun. Don't dance alone. I think it's one of the dance things. I'm gonna put all the dance stuff in. It's it's stuff, right? Man, I don't like dancing. I don't like dancing. I didn't find the stories to be all that great. I didn't get to the third guy. He's tied into like Yakuza 5. He might be higher like because it's a tie-in, but I just don't give a shit. Let's see. The sexy hookup. These three might be out of order because I was like touching a few of these and I'm like, can I make them bigger? Um these they're okay. He's just hooking up with people he met at the phone club, and these are like the good ones. So, bottom of the barrel of like fun. Kiryu gets his dick wet, I guess. Oh, they're pretty interchangeable. Segura Shocker is like one of the failed states for the phone club. I it okay, I'll go this one. Okay, this one gets it's kind of funny because it's he gets stood up. The phone clubs they'll pay women to pretend to want to go on dates so the dudes keep coming back to the phone club. That's a good little bit of world building and like behind the scenes like how those places work. I'm gonna put all the true fail states under not fun. Kiryu gets sexually harassed and assaulted. That's not great. In fact, I'm just gonna put all of them equally shitty. I want to say mothers. I don't count them as I don't remember them if it's just that I don't remember the name. Okay, it's another one of those. So, where the fuck did it go? Where did I have it? Oh, there it is. Yeah, this goes with the other sexual predators. I don't like that shit. Yeah, it was just the three rapist women. I don't like rape as humor. That's not cash money. But, and I gotta. Oh, man. Alright. These next ones. There's side quest stuff where you drive cool little electric cars around a little racetrack, and a lot of it's just like playing against kids because it's mostly a kids game. Kiryu gets into all kinds of shenanigans. I'm gonna just kind of like lump them all under. Just wait. Man, I'm getting like this is. I have to like zoom out a little bit or something. Yeah, this is getting crazy. Let's see, the Rocky Road to Romance. I'm gonna lump most of them. I'm gonna they're all lumped together under. They're all fun and good. I just don't want to try to rank them individually because there's just too many of them. They're all one large quest line, and it's all consistently pretty good, and it all culminates in some pretty touching stuff about like purpose of life, what you're doing with your life, how you impact the people around you. Pocket Circuit Fighter, the whatever I think he's like 24 or some shit, and he's a virgin, and like he's like I guess he's just considered unfuckable. What? Which, here's the thing, right? He's probably autistic. It's his special interest. There's got to be a grown. No, there are grown ass women. One of them's fucking a turbo nerd who uses statistics and get her ass beat by some fucking 20-year-old dude with a guide to how to beat her. Yeah, these are pretty high up there. I would say they're on par. They're okay. So if Damned Yankee, Eric Your Quest, Heir to the Family, you know what? No, this is actually going down a little bit. How to Train Your Dominatrix. These are like the top. There we go. These are like the trifecta of the best of the best. I would consider if you lump all of the Pocket Circuit stuff together into one quest, it's up there with them. Individually, they're not super the strongest. I'm not gonna go through all their individual storylines. Some of it is also like it has issues where it's like a little girl is like, "Hey, you beat me in racing. We're dating now." And Kiryu's like, "I don't want that." But under like honor and rules, I'm not gonna tell you. Nothing happens, right? He just tells her. He's just like, okay, that's fun. That's man, it's not great, man. There's some shit in this that's like not great. Ah. And then her dad is like, I'm gonna battle you. You can't date my daughter unless you win. And Kiryu's like, I don't want to date your daughter, but I have to beat you. Man, what the fuck is this shit? Okay, there's more. There's more. Okay, there we go. The Greatest Glory or whatever. Okay. The Fighter's Crown. You know what? This one's great. I'll put this at the top. I think this is where you get the great, like, catharsis. Just for the sake of, now it's out of order, but you know what? Fuck it. That's fine. Stop and Search. This one's a pretty good story. There's a cop whose only job is to, like, frisk people. I don't know. I live in a village. I think I've said it multiple times before. Cops, there's like two cops, right? And one of them is my friend's uncle, and the other one I don't know who they are, right? We see some of them around. There's also like a sheriff. There's like sheriffs or something. And basically, cops only get involved if somebody's gonna die or like if somebody's tire gets popped. In this village, there's a lot of drugs, and like they could be like cracking down on drug dealers or drug producers having their kids sell drugs in school, but that's never going to happen. It would make the tourism dry up. If that gets in the newspaper, tourists aren't going to want to come here if they find out, oh, the schools are full of drug dealing teens and stuff. Like it's bad. Anyway, I'm not super I don't love cops, right? They're not great. This guy, at least, like, the idea of a cop, he's trying to help people, and he's willing to get stabbed eventually to, like, help people. And then he eventually works for you under the table. And so, I like it. Mechanically, it might not, it's fun. You know what? I'll put it at the top of, like, it's pretty touching. But it's, you know what? If I put Destiny Calls has to go lower, right? It's not that great. I'll put above the postcards, but before the detective. And I'll put this guy. See, it's a touching story. It'll go before Heir to the Family, right? And I also don't like the IRS. Well, I like the idea of the IRS going after rich people, but it's the poor people that suffer the most because, like, TurboTax pays a few $1 million a year to ensure that their company stays in power. So that's not great. So because I hate the government enough and how they target. You know what? No, she's actually targeting a bad person, like a douchebag. So yeah, fuck them. Mushroom Merchant. Yeah, there's a dude in a shady alleyway selling mushrooms, and he's like, "Hey man, you want some mushrooms?" And Kiryu's like, "No, thank you. I'm not into hallucinogenics." And he's like, "What? What do you?" Man, these mushrooms are real special. And Kiryu's like, yeah, I don't want those. And he's like, listen, man, they taste really good. He's just selling regular ass, well, like high quality mushrooms. but very suspiciously. And every time you see him, some goon, some thug, is trying to stop him because they're like, these didn't get me high. And he's like, they're gonna get you high in life, dude. And eventually the Italian mafia gets involved, and that's just fantastic. Good writing, classic beat 'em up stuff. It goes ahead of the shrink wrapped thing, lower than underneath it all. Also, you get the mafia boss as a dude who works for you. He's like, I miss the taste of blood. I need to beat men to death. And Kiryu's like, don't do that, but you can beat them up. And as I can live with that. Let's see. Kimurocho's Mr. Libido. Funny, but not like all that interesting. I'd put him. So basically, the Mr. Libidos are very horny gooners that you talk to find out what hot babes exist in each city. And then you unlock their softcore porn videos where they play with bubbles. I put this above Help Wanted and above, yeah. Just because it's pretty funny. Mr. Moneybags. I don't give a shit. He's kind of a douchebag. I'll put him at the bottom. Yeah. I'll put him here. He's not interesting. You use him to send money to Majima, and then Majima sends money back to Kiryu. They're not that great. Pocket Circuit Fighter. He's going straight up there because he is the whatever's after trifecta, quadfecta. I don't know how that works. Man, I have shit to do. I gotta finish this fucking thing. Man, I don't want to have to record in 2 parts. God damn it. Alright, I'm gonna go faster now because I've been recording for 45 minutes and I don't have the. You know what? No. Through the powers of YouTube, I'm just gonna. Kiryu's gonna have an episode. It's all gonna be the Kiryu stuff. That's right. That's right, everybody. I don't have it in me to do all of the similar to the big video. I'm gonna just do. Yeah, guys, it's fine. Dream Unfulfilled. That's the Mr. Beatdown or Mr. Smashdown. That's the big honkin' dude that wants to beat up Kiryu for money, and then I just farm them for money. I don't know what the purple jacket guy wanted again, but he's fun enough. I'll put above the Mr. Libido. Yeah. Because they have little storylines and they're pretty neat. Head of the Clan. I didn't do it. I'm going to put that under don't remember just because I didn't play it. I believe it's you do everything else, you get to fight this guy. He's the leader of there's a clan of dudes who show up in every game that you fight. And I can't remember their names. But, yeah, it's the secret hidden final boss dude, and he's a douchebag. You fight him in a bull ring or whatever, where in I think Yakuza 3, some middle-aged old dude has to fight a bull in order to rescue his deaf adoptive grandchild, or just I think it's just his adoptive daughter. It's a very touching moment. Amon, I think that's the clan, the Amon clan, or Amon is his first name. I don't know if this is the same guy. No, this guy's got more of a fuller face. I think it's the Amon clan. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. I didn't do it. So this is going to go here too. And then all the friendships and training and stuff. Apex Predator. This is going up with the other Mr. Dude. This one I remember. This dude. No, actually, this dude is great. I love him. Shining example. Yeah, he's above a lot of things. He's above the Mushroom Merchant. This dude, every time you meet him, he's trying to train to become the apex predator of the planet. He wants to be the strongest living organism, which is just hilarious to me. It's great. starts out, I think he like rents or owns a mountain or something, and he goes and fights bears or whatever. And then he gets like an island so they can fight whales and sharks and shit. And then he eventually is like, I need to fund my exploration of space so I can go there and fight everything. The vacuum of space is the ultimate training zone. This dude is a power scaler on like he's up there with Goku and shit, or at least like a Dragon Ball Z. Like he's like a human, and he's like a strong human. He has a nose though. Uh. The convenience store friendship. There's some decent writing. I'll put this. Above password protected. She's pretty cute. She reminds me of one of my classmates I had. A pretty cute girl. The one I had, bad shit Christian. Fucking crazy as shit. She wanted to fuck my best friend in high school who didn't want to fuck her. It was great. It was funny. I think she eventually lost her virginity to a dude who was a known rapist, drug addict, and had an STD. Great life choices on her part. Next one. Yeah. This one gets me a chicken as a fucking manager. This one goes above. Just for the sheer fun of it, right? In terms of emotional value, Pocket Circuit Fighter is better. But in terms of sheer fun, No, actually, wait. The bowling was a bitch. Okay, you go below the Pocket Circuit Fighter. Pocket Circuit. Okay, so the mock bowl receptionist friendship. So you get the bowl of turkey, and then she's supposed to give you a turkey. But turns out they're out of turkeys, and they gave her a live chicken to give away. But anyway, we named the dude Nugget, and he's great. He becomes a manager, and he's actually like a decent manager of our businesses. He's great. I love Nugget. Nugget's great. Sushi Jin Chef. Daddy issues. I think he took over for his dad, so this has to go into fun. Oh, wait, it involves fishing. It can't go into fun. It's good writing, but it's not fun. This goes, yeah, at the top because there's daddy issues. He takes over from his dad, and he's like, I don't know if I'll ever be as good as a chef as my dad. I need, like, fresh fish. And Kiryu's like, I'll get you some fresh fish. And then I go fishing, and it's fucking awful. I hate fishing in most games. In nearly every game. There's some woman at the Sega High Tech Land arcade where you play Sega games. Was it Outrun? I can't remember which it is. It's one of those games. And so you think that Kiryu and her are gonna fuck, and they don't fuck, and that's pretty tee-hee, ha 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 ha. And then Kiryu probably just goes home and jerks off, or goes to the phone club and jerks off. Decent writing. I put it above. Yeah, I put it up with the hookups. I put it with the other one. I like this other one more. She's pretty nice, and it's like the story is more involved because you help her improve the store. And I think she becomes the second, like the sub manager, the general. Like she gets some sort of position that's higher than what she has, and it's not a sex joke. I don't know, she gets like. Hopefully she gets paid a couple hundred yen more or something like that. Bacchus' training. I completed that, so I will rank that fully. Fun and good writing. Yeah, he teaches you some pretty good moves. I'll put this above the mushroom guy. Please don't be finicky. Bacchus is the guy who teaches you stuff for the thugs. Yeah, thug. I want to say thug. Is it thug? Brawler? He teaches you for his default fighting technique, and he also introduces you to the other trainers too. I'm actually getting kind of winded, so I'm trying to get through this as fast as possible. Cool guy, alcoholic. One of my viewers actually left comments, and he has a Bacchus PFP. If you're watching, you're pretty cool. I loved our little comment chain. That was great. You're rad, man. If you're, I don't know. I assume you might not be. I can't remember. The guy, the fisting trainer. He teaches you how to dodge out of stuff. I don't like the stuff, but it's kind of fun. I'll put it at the bottom of fun. It's fun enough to not be like bad enough to not be cool. Miss Tatsu, I actually really enjoyed her stuff. I would put that higher up. Actually, no, I'll just put this at the bottom of the fun and good writing. She's a fun character. It's good writing. I have fun beating up the the stuff there. I don't think I finished her training, but that's because by the time that I almost had 70 hours in, and I was like, oh, man, I just don't want to keep fucking playing. I gotta get the video out. And so with that, all of Kiryu's stuff is ranked. What I'll probably do is I'll just cut the footage, I'll cut the audio, I'll clean those up, I'll put the video together. You know what? I gotta eat. I think my blood sugar is low. I'll be back. Right, now, so that I have calories inside of me, I'm just gonna make this one really big video. I think people might like that. We'll see. Anyway, now that I have calories in me and I no longer feel like I'm gonna pass out, I can now cover all of the Majima sub-stories, which thankfully it looks like there's only like 2/3 as many, so it's not gonna take nearly as long. First off, we got one that I can't read the name of, but I'm pretty sure it's the Telephone Club one. Yeah, the Gandhara's clerk. He is the one with the spooky ghost tape lady, like The Ring. That one's far more interesting than the other one that involves a woman in a videotape, but he also wants to goon with you, and he loves this spooky tape. Or like he finds the tape. Something like that. Anyway, it leads to a ghost story, which is pretty fun. So, let's see. I'd put that... Let's see, a spooky ghost gooner story. That's pretty fun. But it's not expanding Majima, so I'll put it in... Oh yeah, it's more fun than postcards for sure. Let's see. The next one is one of Majima's friendship ones with his own Sega high-tech landlady. That one's the bike one, I think. I'll put her pretty much the same as the other one. It might be a little bit funnier. I can't remember which one was harder, though. Also, in case you didn't notice, or in case you didn't know the series very well, most of the women in it are Japanese adult video actresses, which is to say, porn stars. They're all uniquely, their visages are unique. They all look unique to their voice actresses. I don't know how much the budget went towards having women. I like making jokes because, like, in games, a lot of the times women are considered like secondary in terms of the story, so they skimp on having characters that are girls. So it's just like, oh, look, they could afford women this time. This time around, they afforded a lot of women. Let's see, this one is sparring with Komeki. Okay, so Komeki's the guy that teaches Kiryu, I think, the Tiger Drop later on. And at the meantime, he's currently not doing that. He's actually hanging out with Majima in Sotenbori instead of in Kamurocho. I did some of his stuff. It's okay. I'll put it at the top of like not fun or bad writing, where it's just like I don't feel like it expands Majima much. And I didn't have a whole lot of fun doing it. Let's see. Weihu? Is it Weihu? Feihu. I can never remember if it's Weihu or Feihu. Feihu's training, however, is pretty decently fun, and it boosts up one of the best fighting styles in the game. I would put, yeah, that's above the women. That's above Mr. Libido. It's more fun than that. Let's see. It's behind, I would say it's behind the Fortune Teller one, where Kiryu gets to meet Ryuji Goda. That sounds about right. The training from the guy who danced, I actually did literally none of it. I did none of it. I'll put it in the camp of, oh man, what do I consider worse? Not having fun or bad writing, or just don't remember it? I'll put it under, I just put it under, like, bad. It's just bad. I didn't want to do it. I didn't boost up that style whatsoever besides the base stuff you can expend money on. This dude, this next shakedown guy... Oh, he's from the countryside, so he's like from around here where I live. And he's like, I'm gonna go to the city and beat the shit out of dudes for money, because my daddy told me I can't rely on nobody. And Majima's like, your daddy meant like get a job, and he's like, no, I gotta take money from tourists and shit like me, but also like locals. So that was decent. Let's see. Probably put it under the other Mr. Kamurocho. He's nowhere near as good as this fucking guy. Ebisu or whatever the fuck his name was. He was great. What is this one? The Ultimate Plan. Oh, Mr. Okay, that one. That shakedown. This one is funnier. So I will put this one higher than the other ones. I'll put this under... You know what? He's not as good as the Apex Predator, but he's still, like, fun and good. His shtick is that he's bald. And he thinks that if he gets enough money, he can have a serum that makes him not bald. And because Majima has such luscious hair, he fucking hates the shit out of him. It's great. I don't know if it's the... If it's that great, though. I'll put that at, like, the top of fun. It was fun, but it didn't really boost up Majima. Stoneberry and Peril, I didn't do it. So I don't remember it. The Doll Girl. Okay, so Majima going into the Sega fun place in his half of the city, his half of the game, encounters a little girl who wants those like plushies you can win, and over time you get her more plushies, and then it turns out that her mom is being pressured by some gangsters to like sell her daughter and herself into slavery, and it's awful. Along the way, the girl ends up calling Majima daddy, and I think you can choose to like tell her not to do that. I never tell her not to do that because it's just like, man, she's half an orphan, and it's just real touching. And eventually he's like, man, I wish I could. Eventually I could be called daddy for real, and that ties into later games, and it's kind of sad. I'm not resisting tears right now. I'm resisting the urge to. I ate really quick. My stomach is not having fun. Let's see. Yeah, that's better than Apex Predator Tex Lady. Better than that. This is actually probably like. Is it better than Pocket Circuit Fighter? I would say yes. It's probably one of the best, if not the best, Majima story. It's so touching. Now, let's see. What is this one? The Komian chef. Basically, this guy doesn't think that his trainee can learn how to be a sushi chef. I don't know if it's because she's a woman, but it gives off the vibes that it's because she's a woman. Also, she kind of looks like that former classmate I had. So she kind of also looks like the convenience store girl. So I gotta put it up with there. And also, I've worked in the food industry, so it's just like I have a soft spot for food service workers. And eventually, she makes food that's almost good enough for client. Like fucking people are. Here's the thing: I'm picky, but like these are snooty picky. So it's not just like, oh, I just don't like the taste. Like me, it's just like I don't like the taste or the texture. But they're like, this isn't $50 worth of platery. Though they didn't mind it, right? It's the chef that's the cunt. So I would put him actually above. I put it above the. Is it better than fortune telling? I would say yes. Because of my soft spot for the cooking industry and the people inside of it. Also, if you're watching this and the video was split in half, I guess my apologies. I ended up deciding that it's better to split this video in half instead of keeping it into one big video. Either because of editing issues or because the two-parter thing I already didn't perform very well. We'll find out. As of recording, it's 1:59 a.m. Sunday, the 7th of September. And I'm giving the Majima video like one more day of like, hey, please perform well. The Stagel, Stijl, I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that. Stigel. That's good enough. The Barkeep. Everything is in the same fucking cask, basically. He teaches you about alcohol, and damn near every single one is in sherry casks or some shit. It's just a running joke at that point for me. It's not bad by any measure. It's decently fun, and I do like the tourism aspect of the Yakuza games. I would say it definitely goes above all of the women's that you can find. That trainer guy, the Help Wanted. It's better than the Kamirocho Mr. Libido. It is not better than the Mr. Shake. Those shakedowns aren't that great. I would put it below the. I'd put it. I'd put it below the convenience store lady. That looks like my former classmate. That probably has an STD. Let's see. What is this? A moment shared. Okay, this is a sub story for one of the. This is a sub story for one of the hostess girls. I can't remember which girl it was, but they were all pretty good. They weren't bad. I'll put them. Oh, hell. Below the Mr. Shakedowns. They're pretty decent. They help show Majima's person. You know what? If they show the personality more, I should put them higher. Yeah. Oh, fuck, that guy's funny. The fucking. The bald guy. Yeah, It's. This seems like a good spot for. I'll put all of the. Is this. So as it turns out, I didn't actually cover that one. I didn't play through it, so I'm just gonna rank it as, like, I don't remember it. Let's see. The first friend, I do remember this one. This was pretty sweet. That's like Yuki or somebody. I'll rank that fairly high. I'll rank that under fun and good writing better than Miss Tatsu. I just got notified somebody liked my comment. It's always sweet when I see that. Let's see. Oh, yeah. As somebody who had a younger sibling and helped raise, like, the younger generation of my family, this one's pretty sweet too. The little brotherly. Wait, what do they call it? A little brotherly love. Yeah. This hostess, she's helping raise her brother. I think her mom is sick or dead or whatever. And so, a lot of sympathy from me. This is better than the Tax Lady. This is better than the Substance Search. It is not as good as the Heir to the Family, though. So, that's a good spot for it. Dream Chase. I don't think I did this one. Yeah, I didn't do this one. I didn't do a lot of the hostess's later stuff because it's a lot of grind to get to it. And I just wanted to be done with the game, so that's there. Let's see, what is this? Mystery Caller. I think that's the one where the guy calls and wants you to deliver a gun or something. I don't think I finished it, so that's going under Don't Remember. Oh shit, what is this fucking Soderbergh? Okay, this one's at least more entertaining. The guy's such a fucking doofus. He pays people to listen to him play music, so that's at least better than that Mr. Moneybags from Kamirocho. I'll put under fun or good writing. Less fun than doing the interview stuff, though. That one was decent. Good ending for it. I didn't bother finishing the Mr. Moneybag stuff. Okay, so Mr. Meme Man himself, Sorenborg's Mr. Libido, the walking erection. He has to go fairly high. He is fun. He's in the main story, right? He's up there with Bacchus. He is like a canon dude. So is the Apex Predator. You can't not meet him. He's great. He is better than Miss Tatsu. He is not better than My First Friend or whatever. Or is he? They're about equal. Aaron's on the okay. So that one. So Majima meets a dude who keeps running around running errands for some bitch because he thinks that she's gonna love him, and then she doesn't love him. The results of that is that he'll go and grab you a meat bun or something, and she eventually works for you as Erenda because she called him Erend Kun. Uh, Decently fun. Majima helps the guy stick up for himself. That's is that better than a kid being kidnapped? I don't think it was, because I also had to run around and do errands. It is better than dancing off with fake Michael Jackson, though, but not as good as No, it is good. Better. It's better than that one girl. Yeah, that's good. A bitch gets her comeuppance, so that's always nice. Toilet talk. Okay, that one's where Majima goes into a public bathroom and he keeps finding writing from a lady who is like, "Oh, teehee, we should eventually meet up and stuff." And he tries to meet up with her and thinks it's a scam because there's a bunch of goons there to beat him up. And it turns out that the girl actually is there, so it's actually like a sweet little story. I would rank that in fun or good writing. I'd put that event, the convenience store, I put it above that, but below Feihu's training. He's pretty fun. Actually, no, one more higher. Yeah, that one's pretty good. It's it's better than the Visionary Storyteller, so fuck it. That's yeah. I don't think it's better than the Kamani Chef though, since my sympathies for food service workers is too high. The what is it? Soda board and oh, it's the Obitarian Strikes. Okay, I thought it was like Sodenborian. Is that what you call somebody from Sodenbori? Sodenborian. Anyway, she's pretty decent. She becomes a hostess. She's an old ass bitch who wants to cut in line and gives you hard candies and sexually harasses you, which isn't great. So that's gonna get lower. But that's better than all the hookups with the decent women. It is not better than the first impressions, though. It's not better than the interview ones. That one's got a better culmination. Also, she's, I don't know, immortal or something. She keeps showing up throughout the game. She should be fucking dead by now. But she isn't. Oh, yeah, dances. Let's go with, I didn't do them. Yeah, I just didn't want to do them. This one is, what, Paternal Instinct? Paternal Instincts, yep. That is about a girl who is like, "Hey, you vaguely resemble the guy. I'm pretending to date so that my dad loves me and will shut the fuck up about me finding somebody to date. Uh, can you go on a pretend date with me so my dad fucks off?" And then you go on a pretend date with her so that her dad fucks off, but in fact, he wants to fuck on. You're such a good fake boyfriend. He's all like, "I already knew my daughter was for lying to me, but you're such a good man. Will you date her?" And then you're like, "No, I don't want to date her." And then he's like, "How about you date me instead?" And you're like, "Ah!" Like Hank of the Hill. And this one's really good. Does it expand his character? Kinda. Some of these don't, Oh, good, fuck. Here's the thing. I love Miss Libido more, but I feel like this is the better sub-story. I'll put it below the little brotherly love one. Just I'm, it can't be any better than like helping raise a kid. Let's see. I love this one. Okay, this one. What is it? A taxing issue? Is that what it's called? A taxing issue. I keep making the joke that Majima crashed the economy, and he kind of did. He helped a tax man bring taxes to the Japanese, who previously didn't have a whole lot of taxes, and so that's what that caused the bubble to burst. The bubble that was present during Yakuza 0, the economic bubble that existed because they weren't being taxed pretty much for most of it. I think they didn't have a sales tax was the thing, and he's like, I think he wants to institute like a 6% sales tax, and Majima was like, actually, you can get away with 8. It is the highest number that is single digit that isn't too close to 10 because 9 is too close to 10. 8% is the most you can tax, and people will be fine with it. This one, for sheer meme value, I have to. It's brought up later. It's better than raising a little kid. Is it better than Daigo? Yeah, there's not a whole lot of effort needed, and it's really, really funny. It's better than Daigo. Crossed words. So basically, Majima helps a couple. So this guy keeps. He's got to be like he's also on the spectrum, right? Who else would make a? Uh, I'm pretty sure he's asking her to marry him, and he's doing it through a crossword puzzle, and she's kind of dog shit at him. Some of them are very like Japanesey ass questions, where it's like you wouldn't know unless you're uh embedded in Japanese culture or you look up a guide. Kind of like how like uh potentially I think could be too American as fuck for people to understand in other countries, like dying from healthcare debt. This one is pretty sweet. I'd put it. The punchline gets me less than the whole "will you date me instead of my daughter" thing. So that goes below paternal instinct. Let's see, what is this? The jumper one, the stadium jumper. So basically, this dude wants to wear his badass jacket across a bridge, but everybody wants to beat the fuck out of him, and he refuses to not wear his cool ass jacket. So it's kind of like the Johnson one, but instead of a celebrity, you're just helping some dipshit walk across a bridge. He has to strut, by the way. He has to go slow so people see him wearing it. It's it's dumb fun. It's oh shit. It's better than human trafficking. It's better than Password. It's better than the two girls there. It's better than the barkeep. It's not as good as the convenience store. Oh hell. Oh, I didn't know about these. Yeah, I didn't even know that Majima also has a postcard thing. So yeah, that goes into don't remember because I just didn't do it. It could have been fun. This I didn't do this in my original one. I only did this in this run. The 10 million yen drug test. It's a good lump of change early game. You do some tests where they drug you and it messes with your combat capabilities. That one was decently fun. The writing wasn't anything to write home about. Like, pun not intended. It's better than the sexy hookups. It's not better than the Mr. Moneybags though. This does win it out a little bit. From the heart. Oh yeah. Basically a dude wants a really expensive necklace or some shit. And I'm too tired. I'm running on low sleep. My blood sugar is fucked. I've been talking for over an hour at this point. My body is drained of fluids from the neck up. I I do not have the energy right now to go into how I hate the jewelry industry. But basically, Majima helps him get a counterfeit, and then thankfully his girlfriend is like, I love you more than I love this necklace. I fucking hate the jewelry. Fuck it. Not fun. Not. The only fun part is the Chinese dude and his boys that are the counterfeiters, and it's not good. It's it's at the upper brackets though, where like it could be good, but I just hate I hate the jewelry fucking industry. The only jewelry I'm ever interested in is like things of like some extreme sentimental value, where it's like passed down the family or something, or if I can turn a dead family member or a other loved one into a diamond and then wear them as bling. I feel like that's really cool. Also, my enemies. I would also do that to my enemies. I would turn them into a diamond through that process where you take the ashes and you make a diamond out of them, and then I would have jewelry made in which my enemies are artificial diamonds that cost like $7,500 each. And I don't know, wear like a fucking pimp ring that just slowly gets more and more until it's just bedazzled in my enemies' dead bodies. Nothing's more metal than that I can think of at the moment. This next one is really, really good. The Entertainer's Throne. Basically, it's one of those statued guys that pretends to be a statue. Checking to see that. Yep. Audacity is still running, thankfully. The dude's put on his little show where he pretends to be a statue, and eventually he's like, man, I gotta take a fat fucking dump. And Majima helps him out by distracting people, and it's up there. It's up there, man. It isn't as touching as like the Doll Girl, but it is super meme-tastic fun. I would put it below the Chicken. It goes below Chicken. It's more fun than the kids are like touching regarding their stories. Next one, Pants Rise of a Dragon. Fuck. So Ryuji Goda, I think that's his name. He is a pants stealing teenager. You run to a guy who had his pants stolen, and then I think you get his pants back, or you don't. I can't remember. You beat up Ryuji Goda, who's like a 14-year-old, but he's the size of like an 18. No, like a 16. I don't know how old he is. He's like a kid. He's like in middle school or whatever. And he's like beating up people, and he tries to say that it's not because of his like classmates who make fun of him. They can't hang out with him because his dad is in the Yakuza. He's the whatever. He's like the Omi chairman or some shit like that. I don't know what the fuck he is. Anyway, it's great. It's definitely above Toilet Talk. It's above the bald guy. I would say it's better than... Is it better than Mr. Libido, though? Fuck. If Mr. Libido showed up in the later games, I would say it. But he didn't. So he's gonna be, let's see, better than The Friend, yeah. Better than this, better than The Shining Example, better than Miracle on Takaichi Street. Not better than the porn magazine one, though. That one's too iconic. Wait. This is the boyfriend one. No. What? What is the Wait. Okay, this one, this one stays where it is. This one is like fucking one of the hostesses. No, actually this one it was decent. It would have to go into... I don't have the time to go into it, but basically, this one is Majima and the owner or manager or whatever of the hostess club he works with, the secondary one. They are like, oh no, Yuki or whatever, somebody's summoning money from her. It turns out it's just her dad. And it's just like, it's kind of touching and stuff. That's pretty decent. It goes lower though, actually. Yeah, fuck it. It goes below Stop and Search Specialist. Be My Boyfriend does go back where that was, which I think was here. More than Crossword, less than Little Brotherly Love or whatever. What is this one? Man with a Stranger's Face. This one is fucking great. Because if you know about the series, you know about stuff that happens to Kiryu, and that makes this better. However, I think that it fully gets better if you take into account what happens to Kiryu after 6, which didn't come out yet. Basically, a man got plastic surgery and had to run away from his family so that they wouldn't get killed, and then he's like going to the park where his kids are. His kid plays, and his ex-wife is there. And eventually, some Yakuza are like, we found your family, and then Majima helps deal with that. And I want to say it ends up being like, he can still play ball with the kid, who might know that the dude is his dad. Something like that. It's very touching. It's not iconic, but it is very touching. Is it better than Rise of a Dragon? I feel like it is. I feel like this is one of those touching ones that I have to put up high. This one is better than Little... Yeah, this one has to be Little... I should have ranked these by, like, touching. Like, emotionally heartwarming and, like, other stuff. But I know people want the tier list to be actually, like, things are better than others, so I went with that. But, like, I feel like there's also, like, just the dump zone of like, I don't remember this fucking, I didn't do it, and then also like bad. But there's also just like, this is touching, this is funny. And I feel like those are the two main categories. This one's the cult one. This one's pretty great. This one's going to be one of the top ones. Basically, Majima helps infiltrate a cult in Japan. Japan's full of cults, similar to America. It's got a lot of what are they called? New religious movements or something like that. Basically, cults, right? And you help infiltrate them. And then also this dude comes back in. The cult leader comes back in Yakuza 6, I believe. So that's a nice connective tissue thing. I would say it's up there. It's below Pocket Fighter, right? The chicken is funnier and all that, but this has more staying power. I will say that this goes here. And not just because I've got like 8 minutes until I gotta do something. This one's the phone one, right? So basically, calling the future. This dude has a portable phone that's in like a satchel, and he needs to get batteries for it. And you open up a new save spot. It's not anything fantastic in regards to that, but it is good world building stuff. So I'll put that moderately high. It's higher than the jumper bridge dude. It's not as high as the cool convenience store lady though. That one's pretty neat. This one's kind of neat, technology. So I guess we'll take a gander over all of them so you can see what I love in a Yakuza game, all this cool, fun stuff, interconnected stuff, character lessons, character writing shining through, heartwarming moments, daddy issues. There's probably some gay stuff in here somewhere. And then you get into like, it's decent, it's fun, I don't mind it being in the game, it's serviceable. If there's a lower category beyond just that, where it's just like it's okay, like it truly is just like it's okay, it would be like the hookups. They don't have a whole lot of care. I also it's RNG. I fucking hate RNG stuff. Then we get into like the I didn't like it, where it goes from just like it had more potential, or like I just didn't like an element of it, like I hate the jewelry industry. And then it goes all the way down to I fucking despise it. I don't want to deal with it. Actually, you know what? I can't, in all seriousness, say that the training is worse than fucking the pizza. Actually, yeah, put that above all the sexual assault fun, like the this where they make fun of sexual assault. I don't like that. Passport the pizza, fucking. They could have rewritten it. It could have been better. Fuck it though. And then the don't remembers. Although some of these are like it's. Oh man, I just fucking hate dancing in this game. And I wish I had known about these. I don't know if these unlock after you do a bunch of the other hostess stuff or whatever, but yeah, I guess that's it. If this is, I'll probably put this into one big ass video. I'm not sure, but altogether, just stay safe, stay alive, and remember that trans rights are human rights.